and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. This, I tell you, brother.
So clever in the box.
You can't have one without the
boom.
Other.
Right? Ronza, would you agree with that?
Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah. There was more to that, There was more to that agreement. Engineer Jeff, appreciate you, brother. Always keeping it fun here inside of Truth Nation. Gang, appreciate you hanging out with us as well. We got Ronza Rafo in the hot seat, and she's been dropping it hot. Literally, the last 3 segments, we clipped off the wings of Brangelinas. We talked about games and tricks people play, ways that the system gets manipulated. We talked about how the kids, of course, need to be first. It's about the kids, man.
Mm-hmm.
And then more importantly, for your parental stake in that, making sure that you got all your ducks lined up in a row, not just to be a good parent, but also if you have any shot of trying to win a custody battle. And then procedurally, gang, it's all about the setup. Don't think it's about the actual game itself, meaning the courtroom, because that score is usually already determined with the 2 steps that happens before if you play it right. So for all those reasons, make sure you take advantage of Ronza's offer. She's giving you a 30-minute consultation by just name-dropping Truth Radio. You can take advantage of that by going over to rafolaw.com, RAFOLAW.com. What about some final things that people might want to consider? Almost like you're putting a bow on this conversation. What would that look like?
I guess we can talk about the most common questions that come up. Like almost every consultation I have, these are the questions that come up. Can the court talk to my children? Can I take my child to court and have them talk to the judge and tell the judge they want to live with me?
I hope that's a no.
That's a no. In
okay,
California,
good.
it is not.
I'll give you a point for that.
You should give me 2 for what's about to come next.
Here we go.
There's a presumption.
Hold on. Go ahead.
There's a presumption that 14 and over, yes, the court will, in most cases, hear from them. Okay. Where are my bell? Where are my points?
I'm waiting.
So you're going to have to wait. Anything younger than that, it's gray area. So you can't expect your 7-year-old to walk into court and take the witness stand and tell the judge. It doesn't even work like that. The court doesn't want to hear directly from the child, but there are other ways to get your child's voice heard by the court. So, for instance, if your child is seeing a therapist or a counselor and they're telling the counselor all this stuff that's really disturbing, get the report from the counselor and give it to the court. The court will... Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah, it's deeper.
Yeah, so the court will... Of course, they're going to take what a counselor says, and as we learned last segment, they hold it. They weigh it very heavily.
Right. Okay, cool. So, all right, fair enough. What about this is something that I always hear people talk about when I was a kid, and parents would be splitting up and stuff. The main thing was, well, what parent are you going to live with?
Yeah. Wait, you mean like other kids asking the...
No, like when I was a kid, you know, like my buddies' parents were splitting up. That was the big thing. Like, well, what parent are you going to live with,
That's so sad. Why would you even ask someone that, Jesse?
Well, because I think a lot of times what it usually meant was that one would mean that you'd lose the friend, and one would mean that the friend would continue the life that you kind of knew.
Right. Okay. Oh, you're so sweet. Okay. All right. You just redeemed yourself.
Saved?
Yeah.
Okay,
good job.
Okay.
So, the child doesn't get to pick. At least in California, the child doesn't get to pick. When they're older, like teenage years, and they can definitely make a competent, statement to the court that they want to live with one parent, but for valid reasons. You can't be like, well, I want to live with dad because he just bought me a car. Or, it has to be valid reasons. Right. That's in the best interest.
He lets me do whatever I want.
Right.
Yeah.
And so long as it's in the best interest of...
the kids?
Good. Then that's it. The court will hear what that teenager has to say.
Nice.
Right. Another common question that comes up is like, okay, so we went to court, we got an order, but you know what? The mom or the dad, whatever, they accuse the other party. She keeps violating it, or he keeps violating it. They're not even following the order. Like, what can I do? That comes up almost every time.
Can I guess what the answer is?
What?
Log it down.
Yes. Good job.
I'm leaving myself a point for that.
Yeah. Okay. You remembered from last segment.
Maybe.
Record keeping.
Yeah.
You have to keep track of everything. It's one thing to walk into a courtroom and tell a judge, like, Your Honor, he violated the court order like so many times and he never follows it.
Right.
Okay. And as opposed to walking in and just plopping a calendar down on the, in front of the judge, like, boom, look, Your Honor, these are all the dates and the times and the violations of the court order.
What if she's made that up, though?
That's like, okay, that's really hard. Like, the judge is not going to just believe the parent, right? But they are going to look at it and consider it like, wow, this is pretty thorough. This is pretty, and look, it kind of speaks for itself. Like, it's one thing if the mom says every single time was a violation, as opposed to her being fair and saying, okay, well, that day, yes, this day. She could totally just be like, all the time, all of them, you know? Judges have good judgment, right? As they do. They can tell by looking at something if it's like pretty fair and good faith record keeping, or if it's skewed and BS. A lot of the times text messages. A lot of the times, like, I will use text messages in court. Hey, where are you? Are you picking up the kids? The other parent responds, no, I'm not going to make it. Boom. There's your evidence right there. Yeah. Keep track of it and make it correspond with that date that you wrote on your calendar that parent did not show up. And even better, to go the extra mile, if that parent has social media, it's like, they said they can't make it because they had work or other obligations. But according to his Instagram post or her Instagram post
in Vegas, right?
Yeah. So that that extra step. Yeah. It's really nice.
Yeah. Something tells me that Adrian's not going to have any problem in his adult life
ever,
because he's just getting like a master's in how to run the system by being within an earshot. Gang, that's Ronza Rafo. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
Truth Nation, you just got a solid from Home Slice. And by the way, speaking of solids continuing, go to rafolaw.com, RAFOLAW.com, and get an opportunity to be able to speak with her live and in person so that you can get a plan for yourself. Because guess what, gang? These types of things are complicated.
Very.
And especially when they're happening to you and they're emotional, you get that whole like myopia thing and you're probably a little bit angry, and it's very hard to see through the trees when you're a runner in the race. That's called mixed metaphor right there, and I just pulled that off. You saw that happen.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Anyway, gang, I'm going to get bailed out by saying rafolaw.com. That's where you can get some of that. And for us, gang, we'll see you back here next Thursday, same bat time, same bat channel, for another dose of the truth. Thanks for hanging out.